everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. I am a homeschooling mom of two kiddos, one that has special needs. I also am a business coach over at Homeschool Business Creative, where I help mamas or homeschool mamas who are running businesses succeed. And I am also the author of Homeschool Simplified curriculum. And here at my channel, you will find all things homeschool, homesteading, and business related. So I'm super excited to dive into today's topic, which is our 2021 and 2022 kindergarten and first grade curriculum picks. Okay, so I've spent so much time just looking through curriculums and reviewing last year and trying to figure out where I can improve our homeschool, right? Like, I know everyone is doing this. I know everyone's fretting over curriculum right now. And when you see what I have picked, you're going to think, how on earth, right? Especially for kindergarten and first grade, because I have a lot of moving parts. And I will have a video where I give you my schedule as well, so I can go over how I'm adding and using all of these moving parts still in like an hour or two a day of schooling. So first, I want to add that these curriculums are just for my son. So he is special needs. He has severe ADHD and sensory processing disorder, which we have not been able to get help for until, well, now he starts his first therapies next week. So this has been like a 1.5 year process that was extended via COVID. So it shouldn't have been a problem as much as it is at this age now, because we should have been able to get help sooner, but because of COVID, everything was, halted and delayed. And so last year, he was 3 turning 4. He turned 4 in October, and we started kindergarten last May. So like, he was 3.5 when we started kindergarten. Part of his special needs is just that he's super, super smart. Like, he is a little sponge. He can absorb things. He learns quickly. He grasps concepts quickly. He's super smart. And I'm not even saying that because he's my child. It's just he absorbs very quickly. And I knew that it was time to start him in kindergarten, and he loved it. And then probably right around his birthday, a little after his birthday, I think, after his 4th birthday, he started just regressing. Like, he was no longer potty trained. We couldn't do anything with him. He was super hard to handle. And so I made the decision at that moment, halfway through the kindergarten school year, for us anyway, to stop schooling him, because it just made things worse. It was making him not love learning, and that's not at all what I'm trying to do, right? So we stopped schooling, and we picked back up probably January, and we picked up super, super slowly. So we probably did only a couple lessons a week, which is fine for his age, right? It's completely fine. But my point being, that is why I have this weird like kindergarten and first grade dynamic, because I know that I need to finish kindergarten, technically, and then move him into first grade. So probably the first half of, maybe just the first quarter of the school year will be spent reviewing, building his confidence, and finishing kindergarten, and then we're going to move into first grade. So that is why I have several different like curriculum things going on, because he really should be at the first grade level. But I think it's really important to go back and just build his confidence with math and build his confidence with reading. So I just want to show you guys what we have picked, and I'm super excited. I finally have everything to get started. We plan on getting started the first week of August. I'm gonna organize everything here. I should have done that beforehand, right? Okay, so for language, arts, and reading, we are using the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level K. And so last year, he worked through the Good and the Beautiful pre-K, primer, and the first 20 lessons of this book from May to October. Like, he did all of that, like, just like super quick, like grasped the concept super well. And then we stopped at lesson 19. I'm going to apologize because my husband is mowing the yard, so you may hear the lawnmower at some point. He's going to go in front of the house here. Anyway, so this is going to be our main curriculum. I do really like this curriculum. I will say that, especially for my son, it's a little wordy, not going to lie. And so because of that, I have broken the lessons down. Most of the lessons I broke down into 2 parts. So for example, this is lesson 20, and I know this is backwards for you guys, and I'm very sorry. So this is lesson 20 because you already did kind of part of that. So this would be a lesson, just going over these words, and then reading this chapter of Bobby and the Big Road would be a lesson for us as well. So I would break lesson 20 down into 2 lessons. So this is probably going to take us a while to get through, which is totally fine, because the Good and the Beautiful is usually a level ahead. So level K is really like kindergarten and first grade, so I'm not worried about that at all. On the days where we're just reading Bobby and the Big Road, I'm going to be supplementing that with Explode the Code level 1. I have 1, 1.5, and 2 because again, I know he's going to go through these really quickly. And so we'll be supplementing with Explode the Code on the days that we have a Bobby and the Big Road reading. So, and I've never done this one myself, but I've heard amazing things on this, and I'm also using Explode the Code with my daughter as well. So I'm excited to see how this works out for us. And then I also have, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to fit this one in just yet, but I did get 180 days of reading in kindergarten. And I really like this because it has it has not only reading here, but reading comprehension as well. So I can have him read this little passage and then make sure that he's comprehending it really well, which I think is really important because my son can read and he will read just to be done, right? Like he will just quickly read through and be done, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is understanding what he needs to understand in terms of what he's reading, right? So I'm excited about this. Not entirely sure where this fits in just yet. I'm working on it. So the last thing that we're going for language arts is the first language lessons for the well-trained mind. We are not really classical educators, I would say, not at all. That's just not, I just haven't gotten into all that stuff, but I loved this book. It kind of goes over the parts of like speech, you know, so like common nouns, verbs, highlighting those in passages. The lessons are super, super short. This is a lesson. This is lesson 1. Lesson 2 is reading this poem and answering a few questions. And so this is something that I may incorporate as part of like a morning basket type thing or part of morning work. But I was really excited about this book. Okay, so math. Now last year we did, of course, the Good and the Beautiful primer. We did the primer supplement. We did Gather Round Ready to Read program, which is both reading and math, beginning math. But we also did the Good and the Beautiful level K math. And we got about maybe 2 or 3 lessons to the end of the first book before he regressed and we just kind of stopped, and then I couldn't get him back into that one. Because again, it's very wordy. I love it. It's beautiful. I love how the stories interact with math. I love it all. But it was just too much for him to sit through. So this year I'm so excited because we are doing it's upside down. We are doing the Simply Good and Beautiful math. This is level K, so I know that we are already halfway through this, but my goal is for him to whip through this and then be super confident going into level 1, which I will also buy. And tip, levels 1 through, okay, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. Levels 1 through 4 or 5 of Simply K Math, or Simply Good and Beautiful Math, is free for download. So, I'll give you a little. So these are also super short lessons here. Why is it so like the title page is upside down? I don't even know what I've done here. So like, yeah, they're super short, simple lessons, about a page is a lesson. and I'm super excited for this. So we're going to be doing the first part of school year. We're probably doing 2 or 3 of these lessons because they're super short, and they're just review concepts for him. So we'll move quickly through this, but I do think it's necessary to revisit all of those. I will also want to be doing level K, I think it's level 1, math and creation from, I want to say Master Books. I think it's Master Books level 1 math and creation, as well as level 1 of this. And that's because I really need to kind of switch it a little bit every so often, because otherwise he just gets bored with the same general thing over and over again. So that's why last year we did not only Math K and Level K Language Arts, but we also did the Ready to Read program. So I would just kind of alternate between them. This program definitely moved a lot faster, and so Gather Around Ready to Read was a good review for him, and he just needed that some days. Okay, so the other thing that we are doing is social studies, and while I don't think that social studies is generally necessary for this age, I think it's necessary for my son because he doesn't understand a lot of social constructs around, conversations and people and places, and understanding what's appropriate. So I really do think that social studies is necessary. And the first part of this really is just like understanding the difference between old and young people, understanding rules, all of that stuff that I think my son desperately needs help with. So that's all we're doing, 180 days of social studies. I plan to do this, I'm actually doing a week at a time, so I'm not doing it every day. Instead, they're super short lessons, like super short. If I can get to them. Like this is a lesson, right? Just figuring out the youngest or whatever. That's a super short lesson. So we're going to be doing a week at a time, once a week. So we'll do days 1 through 5. I think I have it on Thursday, to do all of that. So do all of our social studies on one day. And then the last thing that I'm doing for my son is geography. Again, geography is not something you need for first grade or for kindergarten or first grade or 4-year-olds. But this is something he loves. This is something he's super interested in. He loves maps. He loves mountains and landforms and places. And so I'm excited to do this workbook with him. And it is very similar. It just has very short lessons. So we're going to be doing about 3 pages of this once a week as well. And I'm really excited about that. And I also got, this one's digital, it's on my phone. So it is elementary geography from Charlotte Mason. So this one is really more like a read aloud type of thing that has different lessons within it. So this is the title, like this is what the book looks like, and it is just mostly like lessons of understanding our world. There's some questions at the end of each lesson. There are some poems incorporated, some short stories incorporated, and this I can get on the kids' tablet, I can get on my tablet, which I'm currently using to record, so that's why you're looking at my teeny tiny screen here. And so I was really excited about this. It was free because I had Kindle credit, so like why not? And this will also be incorporated with our geography once a week, so I'm really excited about that. We do have some science and a few other things that we will be doing. Those will all be family subjects. So those will be subjects that my daughter and my son do together. And I will have all of that in another video for you to watch, along with my preschool picks for my daughter. So if you want to see any of these, like a flip through of any of these, if you have questions on any of these, if you have questions on how I have decided on curriculum, the process I went through, or if you have questions on how I'm scheduling this all out, I will have a video about that, but I also would love to answer any questions that you have. So please Comment any questions you have below. I would love to hear from you. You can also join my Facebook group that is Homeschool Business Creative, Simplifying Homeschool and Business for homeschool mamas, or my Homeschool Simplified Curriculum group, both of which I'm very active in, and you guys can contact me a lot easier that way. So I hope you enjoy.